Breaking news right now in Orange County. In the last hour, we have learned a Windermere police officer shot this morning has died. Channel 9's Roy Ramos is live near the scene. Roy, what do we know right now about possible suspects?
Well, we know
MC this morning. Dinesh Broom, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Again, a live look at the scene where all of this began before the sun came up this morning. This is Eyewitness 9. Over Windermere police officer was on duty this morning, shot and killed. The investigation into that shooting, and we're hoping to learn more about any suspects at a briefing that is scheduled for some time in the next 15 minutes. And of course, we will bring that to you. We are following breaking news for you as we have been all morning. You are seeing officers as they're walking out of Orlando Regional Medical Center. We expect that this is the beginning of a media briefing that we have been telling you about. Our first official word, you can see, of course, the Orange County Sheriff there as well. Windermere Police Chief David Ogden is expected to speak as well about the loss this morning of one of his own police officers shot and killed in the line of duty. The officer was rushed to ORMC. Sadly, the officer died there. We do not know much more about that. We hope to learn more when this news briefing begins, and we're going to stick with this until they get to the podium and begin speaking. What we know about the shooting incident is this. Sometime before dawn this morning, the officer was shot. That officer rushed to the hospital but could not be saved. We do not know anything about what led to the shooting. We do not know anything about suspects in the case. We do know a massive law enforcement investigation and search continues in Orange County at this hour as officers from several departments are working this, as you would expect, to try and make sure they have everyone responsible for what happened. This is, of course, a tragedy, not just for the Windermere Police Department, but for all law enforcement in Central Florida and, of course, truly across the nation as all departments pull together at times like this. They're now approaching, and we expect to have our first live information about that. We can tell you that the mayor, the city manager are there as well. They are going to move toward the podium. We have team coverage, of course, covering all aspects of this story. And at this point, live television, we have to wait for them to cross the street. Our Dinesh Broom has been outside the hospital all morning, was able to bring us the very sad news that even after she arrived with the hope of every police officer and sheriff's deputy in Central Florida that officer would pull through. She unfortunately saw that the medical examiner's van arrived outside the emergency room. That was the first sign that this might not be a successful rescue effort for that officer. We have also learned from our Roy Ramos, who remains at the scene, that roads are closed, extensive area where searches continue, and we do have Eyewitness 9 above that area just in case anything happens. We, of course, can bring that to you live as well. Orange County Sheriff Jerry Demings is there, along with the Windermere Police Chief, and they have called a 8:45 news conference, but have just emerged from the hospital. Of course, this is one of the most difficult things that any police chief or sheriff can talk about, the loss of one of their own. We're going to let them get to the podium, and then we will hear, hopefully we will learn more about the officer, the life of the officer and family and friends, and of course, more on the investigation. Let's go right now to the podium. This is live.
Everybody ready? Good morning, I'm Chief Ogden with the Windermere Police Department.
Next on Eyewitness News at noon.
We ask that you give the Windermere Police Department, our officers, and the family of Officer German some time to get through this tragedy.
A Windermere police officer shot and killed on the job. We'll tell you what his colleagues say about this being the second deadly shooting of a local officer in less than 2 months. Plus, the image released today that may lead to answers in the search for a missing Malaysian flight, now 3 weeks into the search.
And it is getting very busy already.
This is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at noon. Coverage you can count on.
Right now, Eyewitness 9 is over the scene of breaking news in Orange County. A Windermere police officer shot and killed this morning. This is now the second deadly shooting of a local officer in less than 2 months. Officials tell us the suspects in this case appear to have committed suicide. We have a team of reporters covering this story for you in Orange County. Let's start with Channel 9's Roy Ramos. He has been following the breaking news all morning long. And Roy, officers are still there collecting evidence at the scene.
In Orange County, Roy Ramos, Channel 9, Eyewitness News.
You heard him described as a good cop, and today we wanted to learn more about Officer German and who he was. Channel 9's Anthony DiLorenzo continues our live team coverage from the Windermere Police Department. And Anthony, what have you learned about the officer?
Reporting live now in Orange County, Denise Broom, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
As you can understand, so much work still left to be done. The investigation at the scene is likely to cause issues for drivers for some time. This is a live look at the area from Eyewitness 9, and you can see cars are being diverted right now. Again, this is the area of Conroy, Windermere Road, and Apopka Vineland near the town of Windermere. Drivers' best bet just to stay away from there and let the investigators do their work. You can, of course, count on Eyewitness News to continue following the investigation into Officer German's murder. We will bring you updates as soon as we get them on air and online at WFTV.com, as well as on Twitter and Facebook. Well, it's a very sad day, but it is a very beautiful day outside. Meteorologist Marina Jurica is in Severe Weather Center 9 with a check of the forecast.
Thanks, Mark. It is a very beautiful day out there. And
We are following major international news. Just this morning, officials say a Chinese satellite captured an image of a floating object in the Indian Ocean that could be related to the missing Malaysian airliner Flight 370. It's the beginning of week 3 in that agonizing search as fleets of ships and planes crisscross an area the size of West Virginia. ABC's David Wright has more from Perth, Australia.
The acting Malaysian transport minister was...
We'll have more on that story as it develops. Meanwhile, if you are heading to the beach this weekend, be prepared to share the sun and rays with hundreds of other beachgoers. Yeah, it's crowded. Yesterday kicked off one of the busier beach weekends as spring breakers continue to flood into Central Florida. Beach safety officers say more people aren't the only problem this weekend. Lifeguards in Volusia County will be flying red flags to warn you of the potential of rip currents. But we have been looking at the beach just in the past few moments. It is sunny and crowded out there, and it is a nice day. Marina Jurica has the forecast.
thanks so much.